anytime, anywhere, always there. We are the MSA Sports Network.
Number 5, Nicole Evans.
Welcome to exclusive coverage of the 2015 WPIAL Soccer Playoffs, only here on the Management Science Associates Sports Network.
Number 17, Katie Schultz.
The high school soccer playoffs at MSASports.net is sponsored by Progress, by Carlow University, by First Commonwealth Bank, by UPMC Sports Medicine, by Dunkin' Donuts, by Grove City College, by Dollar Bank, by Erie Insurance and the Charles M. Mills Insurance Agency, and by Management Science Associates.
And a pleasant good afternoon, everyone. Championship Saturday continues here at Highmark Stadium as we will have the girls Class AA WPIAL championship game between the Mars Planets, the number 1 seed, and the South Park Eagles, the number 2 seed. Lou Root along with Mitch Azadian. Mike, excuse
That's
me.
okay, buddy. That's we don't work together often, but we work together well.
We do. All right. Mike Azadian, and we're going to pause for the national anthem. And there you have our national anthem as the teams are getting ready to start today's Class AA Girls WPIAL Soccer Championship game. Mars comes in the number 1 seed. They are 16-2-0 on the season. South Park, the number 2 seed, 18-2-1. Mars has not lost to a AA team this year. Their losses have been to AAA teams, and so they come in undefeated at the AA level. And an interesting side note here, Mike, there's been only one WPIAL Class AA final since 2006 that has been contested without one of these teams, yet this is only the second time the two will meet in a championship game.
You know, when I read that, I thought to myself, yeah, Lou will find that too, but that, you know, that's very good. Good point, Lou. I mean, South Park, 3 consecutive titles from 2006 to 2008, silver in 2009, and 11. They lost to Mars in 2011, 2-1. Mars, 3 consecutive titles from 2010 to 12. They were last year, so both of these teams have been here a bunch. The only problem is South Park, no one on their team has ever been to the championship before, although their team has. 2 very good teams. I saw this South Park team in the semifinals, Lou, and they are solid. Michaela Trantor is good. Jordan Minda, you'll call her name a lot, Lou. 27 goals on the year. They had made it to 3 straight semifinals before making the finals this year, winning 5-0 over Greensburg-Salem in the first, 2-1 over Highlands, and then 2-0 over South Fayette. Jordan Minda scored both goals in that game, 7 shots on goal, and their goalkeeper, Molly Saylor, made 1 save in the semifinals. And quickly, before we start, Mars, you mentioned them first. They're the bye. Only one WPL AA final since 2006. You mentioned it. Was contested without one of these 2 teams. And they won in had a bye in the first round. Second round, 4-0 over Waynesburg. Tori Kopchak had 3 goals. Sammy Pappel Papik had 4 saves, and then 2-0 over Central Valley. Central Valley only had 3 shots on goal. First 10 minutes, Central Valley dominated, but then Aaron Posey and Isabella Robreski scored to make it the 2-0 win.
And we are underway here at Highmark Stadium. Right now, ball being contested at midfield. Moon trying to gain, or rather Mars trying to gain control of it. It's one of those planets.
I could see the moon in the Mars.
Yeah.
That's somebody.
My first playoff game this year was at Moon, so
that's why.
That's why I was thinking about it. Right now, ball being headed around near midfield is going to be Michaela Tranter now. Had it momentarily for South Park, taken away on a nice defensive play by Emily Scaletta for Mars. Now ball back over to Tranter. She's working with it down the left side, gets it to Minda. Minda loses it, however, as the Mars defense all over, but now it is Kylie Tranter, tried to get it ahead to Minda down the left side, will go over the end line and be a goal kick for Mars. Mars goalie is number 19, Sammy Papik, and in net for the South Park Eagles is Molly Saylor, number 14.
Saylor, a sophomore, real young goalkeeper, Papik, a junior.
Ball goes out towards midfield where it's momentarily controlled by Mars. Maggie Williams knocks it out of bounds. Throw in for South Park. It'll be Nicole Clydesdale throwing it in, trying to get it ahead to Kylie Tranter. Had it momentarily, loses it. Now Michaela gets it for South Park, Michaela Tranter. And now Kylie trying to control it, but it's going to be taken away by Mars momentarily. Ball deflected off a South Park player. And now it's Kylie Tranter, had it shot on net. It's going to go off the goalie and out of play. It'll be a corner kick
for South Park.
Our first set piece of the day.
And quickly, the referees today: Brad Stokes, Ron Connolly, and Paul Vidic.
And it will be a pair, Carly Chalinsky rather, and Jordan Minda over there. Ball is kicked in on the corner kick, controlled by South Park. On the far side with it is Abby Petrosky, working against a pair of defenders. She's going to lose the ball as Mars is able to get it momentarily out of danger. Now on the right wing, taking it is Amanda Luffy. Luffy sends it over to Katie Schultz. Schultz tries to get it ahead to Tranter. It's deflected by Mars. Sent out to midfield, headed back in by South Park. Now the ball is loose. It's going to be Michaela Tranter with it over to Jordan Minda. Minda over to put Chalinsky. Chalinsky loses it, however, it's going to be taken by Mars. And it is Aaron Posey with it. Pass over to Dylan Wright. Wright tries to get it ahead. It's going to be sent back by South Park. And there you had Minda and Wright going for it. Neither could control, but it's going to be eventually Clydesdale up with it, or check that. That was Abby Petrosky with it. Ball still at midfield. Neither team getting control. Finally, Mars settles it down. And it's Emily Scaletta getting it over to Judy Kahn. Judy sends a long ball into the defense of South Park where they are going to control it and send it out, but it's intercepted on a nice play by Dylan Wright. Gets it back to her midfielder. Now pass up ahead. Mars controlling, right with it, sends it back to Isabel Robleski. Robleski down the left wing to Tori Kopchak, but she's going to be knocked off the ball on a good defensive play by South Park, but quickly headed right back in by Mars. And then South Park's going to send it out towards midfield, and they're finally going to control it as it's going to go off to Minda. She's going to make a run down the right side. Sends towards the middle for Tranter, but her pass was offline, taken by Mars.
Surprisingly, everything in midfield, really only one ball out of bounds so far, Lou. You know, a lot of soccer, sometimes you see a lot of balls go out of bounds, and today everything in play.
Tori Kopchak with it, loses it at the defense, where it's taken by Nicole Evans. Sent over to the other defense to Nicole Clydesdale. She sends it up the left wing. It's going to go out of bounds. Will be a throw in for Mars. And it will be Judy Kahn throwing it in.
We talked about Evans. Boy, she made a great play in the semifinals where she stopped the ball on defense, passed it up to Schultz, to Chalinsky, back to Schultz, and then Minda. A nice passing play, tic-tac-toe, and Minda scored the game-winning goal.
Free kick set here for South Park. And we'll see where it's going to be. They're going to set it. No, they are going to call it a throw in for South Park then. And it's going to go off of Kylie Tranter. Controls it with a nice play, battling a Mars defender. A second Mars defender comes in. Tranter loses it to her, and it's going to be sent long by Shannon Doyle, corralled by South Park, and sent ahead to Kylie Tranter. Kylie over to Minda. It's going to be stopped back by the defense. Cassidy Zandier, after a kick by Mars, boots it back into Planet's territory. Kylie Tranter heads to Minda. She's on a run towards the goal box area, but a nice defensive play. You know, that was Annabelle Nath that made that play for Mars.
We've had 4 championships so far, between 2 tonight and 2 last night and 2 today, and we've had 3 overtime games already. So it's been real tight so far between all these teams.
Ball's loose at midfield. It's going to be Michaela Tranter over to Kylie Tranter, and Michaela gets it back, tries to get back to Kylie. It's deflected by a Mars defender. Nice smooth move by Erin Posey, takes the ball away, and then she is tripped, and that's an obvious foul on Michaela Tranter. It will be a free kick for the Mars Planets, and it will be number 24, Shannon Doyle, with the free kick just on the Mars side of the midfield area here at Highmark Stadium. She's going to boom it down in towards the goal box, and it's going to go on one hop to Molly Saylor. She catches it easily, and now we'll punt the ball away.
Saylor only 1 goal given up in the playoffs so far, as they've outscored their opponents 9-1.
South Park controlling with the ball, as that is Chalinsky. Has it go off of her legs, out of play, throw in for Mars.
Before the semifinal, one of the parents came up and said, please make sure you know that P is silent for Chalinsky. I knew you'd get it, Lou.
Of course.
You're like Sam Hall. You're great.
Thank you. Sam will appreciate that too. Ball out towards midfield, finally settled down by Chalinsky. Sends it over to Petrosky. Petrosky ahead to Minda, now back to Petrosky. Tries to get it back to Minda, but it's going to be deflected out of play by Mars. Throw in for South Park.
So far, these teams have tested each other. Only the 1 corner kick, only the 1 shot on goal. It's been a lot of good mid-play field. Nobody really open. The defense is playing very well.
Ball headed towards the middle, finally kicked out of danger by Mars, but it goes directly to a South Park defender. Sent into Julie Tranter. She falls down, and a Mars defender just hops right over top of her and kicks it calmly out to midfield. Now it will be Dylan Wright with it, sends the pass ahead intended for Maggie Williams. Williams sends it down the left side, but it's going to be headed out of danger momentarily, and then Williams comes in, gets a shot a little bit wide of goal, and Saylor takes it, punts it away to midfield, where Kylie Tranter heads it up in the air, headed back, and finally Michaela Tranter settles it down, sends a pass intended for Minda, blocked by the defense of Mars. Mars now gets the ball ahead, but quickly cornered by South Park, and it is Amanda Luffy with it, tries to send it ahead to Chalinsky, and we've got players going down all over the place.
No calls.
No, they're letting them play.
Yeah, as long as you're not purposely forearming somebody or kicking somebody, the slide tackles are allowed.
And a couple of sliding tackles there, and South Park players went flying. Now Mars controlling. Coming up quickly from her defensive position is Judy Kahn, sends it in towards the box where it cannot be controlled.
Yeah, 7 South Park defenders to 3 Mars forwards, and the battles are going to be won by defense, and it's the same the other way. This game is going to be decided, I think, Lou, by which midfield team gets caught on offense or caught back on defense or vice versa, because right now both teams packing it in on defense in a championship game. We've seen it for the first 4 games.
Well, defense wins championships, offense will win you games. Past Amanda trying to make a run down the left wing, and it's going to go off of a defender, out of play, throw in for South Park. Quickly thrown into Michaela Tranter, boots it towards the goal box, going to be headed out of danger momentarily by Mars. Now sent ahead towards midfield, unable to control it was Posey. Now Minda is offside as they tried to send her through. Good idea, but
yeah, Minda's going to be the girl. She's smaller than everybody else. She can get through defenders. She's very quick when she runs and tries to beat you. This Mars team, we mentioned 3 consecutive titles between 10 and 12, undefeated in WPIAL this year. They did play a regular season game here versus Bethel Park in Highmark, but their coach says their last couple of games last year here, they did not play well, Lou, so they're not real keen on this. It's a beautiful field, beautiful facility, but some teams don't play well in the big atmosphere.
Yeah, it all depends on how well you handle the pressure. And right now, Minda with it, going up against Kahn. Sends it over on the right wing to Abby Petrosky. Petrosky looking for a pass, gets it over to Amanda Luffy. Luffy looking to send a cross over to Minda. Goes through a couple of players, almost got to Kylie Tranter, but she could not get it. Sent out by Mars. And here come the Planets. Aaron Posey with it. Looking for a pass, tries to send it ahead. Deflected by South Park, but it's finally going to be settled down by Tori Kopchak of the Mars Planets, working one-on-one, trying to make a run down the right side, and she is going to have the ball kicked away from her on a nice defensive play by Michaela Tranter. It'll be a throw-in for Mars.
You mentioned Michaela Tranter, her first year playing soccer, went out for cross country this year. Her pass to her sister Kylie won the Highlands game. They scored 2 goals 2 minutes apart in the second half. They were down 1-0 at the half, so the Tranter sisters, a big reason why they're here.
And now the ball out towards midfield. Kylie Tranter had it momentarily. Kahn took it away from her. Now it's sent over to Williams. Williams trying to get it to Kopchak. Couldn't control, taken away by South Park. Chalinsky with it, sends ahead for Minda, too long. It's going to go all the way down into the goal area where it's going to be taken by Sammy Papik. And she's just going to hold on to it, and we'll punt the ball away.
You know, South Park they shared the section title with South Fayette, a team they defeated in the semifinals. South Fayette beat them mid-season to stop a 39-game unbeaten streak. South Fayette just couldn't get enough offense in the semifinal, and South Park held on.
Michaela Tranter with it now, working down the left side over to Sister Kylie. Taken away on a nice defensive play by Emily Scaletta, but they lose it right back. Now Minda with it. Sends it back to Katie Schultz. Schultz over to Michaela Tranter. She's got Minda with her. Sends it to Minda, trying to go down the left side. Too far. It will go over the end line. It will be a goal kick for Mars.
It seems like this game, much like the others, it's just the offense, really, they're going to have to take advantage of opportunities, Lou. It's going to have to be, you're going to have to take advantage of 1-on-2. You're going to have great individual effort by the offensive players because the midfielders are staying back on defense right now, and it's a very defensive game with only 1 shot on goal so far.
South Park has the ball. Chalinsky sends it ahead to Minda, but it's knocked away by the defense. Amber Listman knocks it away for Mars. Goes back out where it's going to be sent long and to the right over the end line by the Eagles. And it will be another goal kick. And as you said, it's very tight. Both teams playing defense first. But I will say South Park has had more of the play going towards
I will agree to that.
Mars, but they haven't been able to convert on anything.
They had a couple of passes that just didn't connect. They had that corner kick. And only the 1 shot on goal that just kind of wasn't real hard. When you got 4 defenders standing back on that back line, and right now it's 5 defenders to 2 forwards, it's going to be tough to get shots on goal.
Both teams are pretty much playing a midfield trap right now, trying to keep the other team from getting any kind of attack going as ball is loose. And what are we going to have? We're going to have a foul called on Mars. It'll be a free kick for the Eagles. And South Park will put the ball in play from just inside the midfield area on the right side over by the scoreboard here at Highmark Stadium. Headed in towards the goal box, but booted back out of safety by Mars. Now Michaela Tranter has it momentarily. Judy Kahn takes it away from her. Pass ahead to Kiera LaRocca, who is into the game as a substitute, replacing Maggie Williams. LaRocca kicks it over the sideline. It'll be a throw in for South Park. Ball sent in intended for Kylie Tranter. LaRocca battling Michaela Tranter now with it. Michaela up to Kylie. Kylie going one-on-one with Kahn, forced to pass it off to Chalinsky, and Chalinsky taken off the ball by Dylan Wright. Pass ahead intended for Posey, too far, and the ball is going to be kicked over the sideline. Throw in for Mars, but it's going to be taken immediately by South Park. Chalinsky with it, crosses midfield, coming down the left side, has Minda with her, sends it to Minda. Minda works towards the middle, sends a cross over to Schultz. Schultz gets a nice pass over on the right intended for Abby Petrosky, but it's going to be kicked out of play. Good defensive play by Shannon Doyle.
Nice thought to get it over there to Petrosky on the right side. Let her just a little bit too much, just a little bit less. She might have got a shot on goal, but good defense by Mars. Opportunity for South Park. It just didn't end up in a shot on goal. But you're right, Lou. I think they've had the better of the play in Mars' defensive zone. They've had better chances. They've controlled the ball longer, just have not been able to get good shots.
Ball is sent over the end line. It'll be a corner kick for South Park. Their second in the match, and it will be number 12, Jordan Minda, and I think that's also number 10, Carly Chalinsky. They do something different. They put two people over there. One gives a short pass, and then that was Minda over to Chalinsky, and now Chalinsky
will try to make a play.
Sends a cross, and it's kicked out of play by Tori Kopchak, but now sent back into the goal box area, and Kylie Tranter had it momentarily, goes kicked out over the end line again by Doyle. Another corner kick for South Park, and again Minda and Chalinsky will go over there.
Hey, you keep piling up corner kicks, you keep piling up opportunities, you see their defense, and you find out where you can take advantage.
This one is sent in towards the goal box, and it's headed out of danger on a nice play by Kira LaRocca. And she also has a ball that deflects off of her back towards midfield. South Park is able to control. With it now is Nicole Evans. Topcheck battling her, gets it on a pass over to the right side to Luffy. Luffy loses it momentarily, but now Chalinsky comes up with it for the Eagles. Moving in to the right side over to Kylie Tranter. Tranter going in towards the middle into the goal box area. Over to Chalinsky, but she loses it. Dylan up with it. Over to Kopchak, rather. Back to Dylan. Dylan, long pass intended for LaRocca. It's going to be too far. And letting it roll out of play will be number 2, Nicole Clydesdale. And so it will be a goal kick for South Park.
And Mars, I mean, we're almost halfway through this first half. I would say 70% of the action has been in Mars' defensive zone. Mars a few times has made a push. Early in the first half here, they had a little bit of a push, but really haven't been able to do much. It's been all South Park controlling the ball for the most part.
Allison Scaletta now in place of Kira LaRocca. As Aaron Posey has it, puts it in towards net. Deflected away by South Park, but it's going to be controlled by Dylan Wright momentarily. Now the Eagles have the ball. Jordan Minda with it. Over to Chalinsky. Chalinsky loses it to Mars. And it's going to be Posey with it now, trying to work to the right. Tried to get a pass ahead to Allison Scaletta. Went right to a South Park defender, but now it's going to be Isabel Robleski coming up with it. Over to Kopchak on the left side. Kicked out of play by Amanda Luffy. Throw in for Mars.
A lot of fans from Mars here for the doubleheader. Mars South Fayette. Boys double A supposed to start at 4. In case you're listening, it probably will not start till about 4:30, we're guessing. Matt Vandrick, Sean Myers, how about that team coming in after us?
Yeah, that should be a good one. Controlled by Mars. Kopchak with a shot from the left side, sends it behind the net. Out of play, goal kick for the Eagles.
Good leg on it. Boy, good leg on it. If you get that on goal, that's the key. You know, that goaltender's can only cover so much ground, and you get a strong leg, get it on goal. But sometimes you don't have a long time. These defenses are so tight, they converge and cover you quickly, Lou. And the key is if you have a ball, just get rid of it and kick it as soon as you can.
Goal kick is deflected by Mars, right with it now. Gets it over to Kopchak. Kopchak makes a move on the left side, and ball kicked out of play quickly by Cassidy Zandier.
A couple girls went down for South Park, Nicole Evans, but she's back up and having some trouble right now. That looks like Amanda Luffy.
That's Luffy that's down, and we're going to have officials time out here. Luffy is limping.
Having a tough time. It's an ankle thing. It's a tough time. They're going to replace her with Nikki McNally, a sophomore defender. She went down, tried to get back up, went down again, and just too much. You know, you don't want to cause a goal, but at the same time, the officials have got to notice that. Evans got right back up, the senior. She's got the neon yellow shoes, and big key in the semifinals that I saw is tremendous defender and was able to take a ball deep in her territory, move it around, and find a pass. South Park team, they're a very good passing team, so Mars has to watch out, not let too many girls be open.
And that ball sent down into Mars territory where it's going to be corralled by the Eagles. Michaela Tranter with it, sends it over to sister Kylie, but she can't get to it, and it's going to calmly be knocked out of play by Amber Listman. Throw in for the Eagles. And it's going to be Allison Scaletta coming up to kick the throw in away, but South Park controls momentarily till Scaletta kicks it over the sideline. Throw in South Park. And Scaletta again heads the ball out of play. Another throw in for South Park. Nicole Clydesdale to throw it in for the Eagles. Gets it ahead to Kylie Tranter, and she then boots it over the end line. It'll be a throw in for Mars. And Judy Kahn throws it long, headed back by South Park, and it's going to go off of Kylie Tranter out of bounds. Throw in again for Mars. Kahn again will put the ball in play. Sends it for Posey a little bit too far, and it's going to be Evans controlling it. Evans now sends it up the left wing where Michaela Tranter gets it to Kylie Tranter. Kylie now on a run, but loses the ball to Kahn, but Kahn then kicks it right to Katie Schultz. Schultz ahead to Chalinsky. Chalinsky makes a move, passes off to Minda. Minda on the right side to Abby Petrosky, and a big diving slide kick by Sammy Papik.
Yep.
Got a ball out of danger that Minda was going for.
Exactly. It wasn't a shot on goal, but it would have been an opportunity. So that's as a goaltender, you take your chances, Lou, where you sometimes have to come up out of the box to prevent a shot on goal, which could be an easy goal, and it's a timing thing. And for goaltenders, that timing is key, and Papik made a great sliding tackle.
She did. She got there just ahead of Minda. Mars now controlling the ball. It's going to go on the left wing over midfield and overrun by the defender out there, Annabelle Nath. And now South Park's able to take it away, and here comes Minda. And she's got it, looking to move up the right side. Gets it over to Petrosky. Petrosky and Minda now working down the right over to Kylie Tranter. Now she's going to send Minda ahead, but it's too far.
Yep.
Tried to get her on a run to the right.
That's exactly what they try to do with Minda. Either up through the middle or try to get the ball ahead of her and let her run down the other opponent. She's very fast. She'll break through people. You just want to make sure she's on sides, but that's what they'll try to do. Lead the ball far enough ahead so she can chase it down. They've been unsuccessful at it so far today, except for the last one about a minute ago where Papik came out with a slide tackle.
Goal kick goes all the way out over midfield. Kopchak with it, battling against Nikki McNally, who has replaced Luffy, who we can't really see. It looks like they're working on her over on the bench. Throw in for Mars for Kopchak, but it's going to be again kicked out of play by McNally. Throw in now moves closer to the Mars goal area. Sent into Posey on the throw in. Posey makes a move, breaks in towards the goal area. It's kicked away on a nice play by South Park into the middle, and the Eagles are going to get the ball out of danger. Nicole Clydesdale kicks it out, but now Kahn with it, sends it back into Posey. Posey with it momentarily over to Kopchak. Kopchak, a shot on goal, it's in! Tori Kopchak. Innocent looking play, but she got the ball in the left of the goalie's box and was able to get it across and on net and in for the goal. And Mars will break out on top.
It doesn't matter if one side dominates play for 75% of the time. Tori Kopchak with 3 goals in the first round, hadn't scored in the in the semifinal, and much like the semifinal where the first 10-12 minutes was all the opposing team, they come out on top and get their first goal. Amazing.
It is. Now Mindo with it for South Park. Tried to get it to Chalinsky, went too far. Mars controls, and they're just going to kick it contentedly over the midfield line and over the sideline. Throw in for South Park.
24th minute, Kopchak puts them up 1-0. It just, again, you know, you're a good defensive team. You let the other team do what they want. You see what they have to offer, and then, boom, you score on an innocent-looking goal where you've been outplayed for most of the first half, but yeah, all it takes is one.
Tell you what, Kahn had a beautiful lead pass into Posey, and then Posey settled the ball down and got it right over to Kopchak, and she was able to turn, really pull a 180 and kick the ball in one motion and ended up with a beautiful goal.
And that's hard to do, Lou. I mean, it's
That
hard.
is.
It seems like it's easy, but you try to do it. Even practice it at home. Control the ball, watch the bounce, stave off a defender. Soccer is a lot harder and takes a lot of years to learn how to do stuff like that. It just doesn't come overnight.
Kopchak now battling a pair of South Park defenders, gets the ball away. Now it's Kylie Tranter trying to go down the left side, controlling it. Now is going to be knocked off of her foot by Amber Listman. Throw in South Park. And Kylie sends it in towards the goal box area, as over there is Petrosky, but she can't control. Chalinsky with it now. And it's going to be taken away momentarily by Williams, but they're going to call a foul on her, be a direct kick.
And you know what? I watch, and during the play, Mars has 9 back on defense. Only Kopchak and one other, Williams, not really in the defensive box. And, you know, I think Mars is going to do that the rest of the time. Hey, we can beat you 1-0. A championship, we'll win 1-0 in a championship. I'm sure their coaches, Blair Gerlach, is telling them to not hesitate, to stay back on defense.
Ball kicked out of play by South Park. It'll be a throw-in for Mars. Kahn with the throw-in, trying to get it ahead to Kopchak. Bounces off her shoulder, where it's going to be taken by Clydesdale of South Park. She boots it over the sideline. Kahn with the throw-in again for the Planets. Again to Kopchak. She heads it over to Dylan Wright. Can't control it, but now gets it out. Sent back into the goal box. Allison Scaletta had a chance, couldn't control it, and South Park is able to kick it back out of play. But now Mars putting the pressure on. Comes back into Kopchak, and it's going to be calmly booted out of play, as that was number 16, Cassidy Zandier, got it out of trouble. Go ahead.
It just seems like Mars is quicker to the ball now. They're beating them on all the 50-50 balls. Anything loose, they're getting to and keeping it alive, and South Park's defense has to do the job. You know, you don't want to give up 2 goals in the first half, Lou, to this number 1 seeded Mars team. They'll shut it down defensively. They haven't given up a goal yet in the postseason. 2-0 could be, they could be closing the coffin door on South Park if that happens.
Ball hit out of play by South Park. Kahn on the throw-in for the Planets. Tries to get it long ahead to Kopchak. She's got it, making a run down the right side. Looking for help. Still has the ball by one defender. Now sends it over to Scaletta, and she gets tackled. No call. And finally it's going to go over to where Saylor comes up with it. And
yeah, no call.
Mars fans very unhappy with that one.
You know, South Park took a lot of chances in the first half, but now they're getting outplayed after that goal. Mars coming on again.
Kopchak working 1-on-3, loses the ball to Clydesdale, and she just kicks it out of play. And now they got a foul called afterwards on
Kopchak. She forearmed the girl down, and going down was Nicole Clydesdale, the defender. One of the few freshmen playing in this game. Only a couple freshmen, about 5 freshmen, 6 freshmen listed for South Park, but really the only one that plays Clydesdale. She'll play most of the game.
Clydesdale has it, sends it ahead to Michaela Tranter. She loses it, but Clydesdale gets it back. Clydesdale working against Allison Scaletta. Kicks it out of play, and
Mars number 20, Aaron Posey.
It will be a throw-in for Mars, as Kahn, whose name we've called a lot, she's a midfielder, throws it in, where Michaela Cantor just boots it right back out of play again. And it will be another throw-in. Kahn to take the honors. Tries to get it long for Posey this time, and Michaela Cantor there heads the ball out of play. Another throw-in for Mars.
Yeah, a lot of, you'll see that sometime where the game will just grind to a halt. A lot of out of bounds, a lot of back and forth, no real control of the game, and kind of we're in that period right now.
Posey with a steal, working against South Park, gets it over, intended for Kopchak, but taken away by Schultz. Schultz over to Zandier. Zandier over to Petrosky as they try to get it out of danger. And finally it gets out to Schultz again at midfield. She's going to send it down the left side to Michaela Tranter. And Tranter sends it ahead for her sister on a run going down the left side. And she is not going to get there in time as it goes over the end line. It'll be a goal kick.
Timing and touch. And just, you could see they're looking for each other. And, okay, lead, and I know you're faster than the defender. She's backing up, but the kick just a little too far. And that's what South Park tries to do. Again, they'll try to do that with Minda, Chelinsky, and Tranter. And so far, they've been unsuccessful to penetrate that Mars defense.
Goal kick controlled briefly by South Park, but now Mars gets a hold of it long enough for Dylan Wright to kick it out of play. Throw in for the Eagles. Clydesdale to throw it in here on the near sideline. And Tranter has it taken away from her by Kopchak. Tried to get it ahead to Posey, but Posey couldn't control it. Clydesdale with it now for the Eagles. Over to Katie Schultz. She makes one player miss, heads up towards the middle area. Pass ahead to Kylie Tranter, has it stolen on a good defensive play by Listman. Listman tried to get it to Kopchak. Kopchak will control and send it back to Kahn, who now sends it ahead to Posey. Posey working against Evans. Two of them battling for it. Finally, Evans controls and gets it over to Clydesdale, who's now going to kick it out towards midfield, but it's going to be taken momentarily by Mars. Coming back is Minda to control it. Gets it over to Evans, back on the back line. Now out to Minda, sends it over to Luffman, who it looks like is back in the game now, which is good news for South Park. Ball goes off of Chelinsky. She gets leveled.
Well, I tell you,
no call.
South Park's doing a good job from defense to midfield, but from midfield to forward, haven't been able to get it done. Here's a steal.
As Katie Schultz loses it after she stole it, gets ahead to Dylan Wright of Mars. Wright tries to hit Kopchak on a run. She's got her down the right side, but Kopchak lost control of the ball.
Just not enough.
Goal kick for South
It
Park.
is so hard, Lou, to control. So hard. And South Park's doing a good job of moving the ball upfield, but the defense from Mars has stopped everything. Schultz in midfield has won a bunch of 50-50 balls. She'll try to move it up, but they can't penetrate that Mars defense. They have done a tremendous job so far here today.
Molly Saylor with the goal kick gets it out just short of the midfield area where Chelinsky has it. She goes down, and they are going to call a foul on Mars, so it will be a free kick for the Eagles just at the circle. And it goes long off a deflection to Kylie Tranter. She heads it forward, but then is headed back out and finally kicked back towards midfield by Mars. Katie Schultz controls, sends it ahead, intended for Minda. Kylie Tranter to Minda. She's got to break in, shoots. Great save by Sammy Papik.
I got to tell you that. You know, you're going to get maybe one, maybe two great chances like that, and that's their first great chance. And, you know, she's been near before, but once you get her loose, and she put a shot on goal, but right at the keeper, and a good save by Sammy Papik.
It was, and a nice anticipation pass.
Yeah, the defense for Mars, we'll talk about that in a second as the ball goes out of bounds. Shannon Doyle, a senior, Amber Listman, a defender, Judy Kahn, a midfielder, but she's back on defense, and Annabelle Hanath on defense. Those four have been tremendous. Actually, Hanath playing midfield, and it's Kahn playing defense. Those four have been a wall back there, and surprisingly, Minda got through, but a better save by Papik, who cut down the angle, and she put it right into her chest.
Throw in now for Mars for Posey. Can't control. Ahead to South Park. And it's going to be sent out towards midfield in no man's land. Reined in by the Planets. Goes to Kahn over on the right side of the defense. Back out towards midfield. Over to Kopchak on the right wing. Kopchak working against Clydesdale. Makes a run down the right side. Gets past Clydesdale momentarily. Now looking for the cross, and gets it in on goal. Posey had it momentarily but couldn't control it, and South Park is going to kick it out of danger. Katie Schultz with a quick foot.
How good is Kopchak controlling the ball and getting the cross?
And Kopchak has it in close and sends a weak little shot.
Left-footed.
To Saylor.
Boy, she just came down the side, beat the freshman Clydesdale to the corner. Clydesdale did a good job of taking her far right, but I got to tell you, Kopchak footed it hard toward the middle of the goal, and that ball bounced around. She is an excellent ball control artist.
Ball now controlled by Mars at midfield. Posey with it. Loses it momentarily, now loses it completely to Minda. Minda sends it to Michaela Tranter on the left side. Tranter moves towards the middle and just mishits a pass intended for her sister, Kylie. Sent long by Mars, and it's going to be Evans corralling it deep in their own territory for the Eagles. Now she moves slowly up before sending it to Michaela Tranter on the left side. Tranter will now send Minda on a run down left wing. It's going to be headed out of play on a defensive effort by Lisman.
I really like the way Nicole Evans plays. The senior defender, I was down on the field before the game taking pictures of the last game. Evans was one of the first on the field working out, calm, cool, collected, back there on defense, and she makes that defense run, surveys the field before she makes a pass.
Kopchak controls now for Mars, over to Posey, sends it ahead to Kopchak, running down the right side. Evans moves to counter, Kopchak around her, cross, but nobody's home. Nice cross by Kopchak, but there was nobody coming down the left side. Controlled still by Mars. Briefly, a nice sliding play by Williams gets the ball to the Planets. However, Michaela Tranter boots it out of danger, and now Mars sends it right back in. First half of this game, it was controlled by South Park. Now here in the second half, it's been all Mars. Kylie Tranter with it now, and she's going to be moved off the ball on a good defensive play by Kahn. However, Katie Schultz with it for the Eagles, sends it for Minda, and I think that would have been offside had it gone through.
I agree with you.
So it gets booted back out towards midfield. Evans with it for the Eagles. Sends it back to her defensive partner. Now over to Luffner. Back to Evans. And now it's going to be Mars that just kicks it down.
And Mars is very aggressive now to the ball. They'll contest almost every pass, and someone's open, someone goes right to a South Park player to try to contest the next pass.
Luffner off to Minda, over to Petrosky. Petrosky moving back towards the middle, now sends it to Minda on the right side. Minda going into the right corner, controlling it, makes a spin move, sends it back towards the middle, too far for Schultz. But here comes Clydesdale over to stop it. Sends it to Michaela Tranter, too long. She tried to send her down the left side, and that's a
freshman mistake.
Unforced error there.
Freshman mistake. Clydesdale had all kind of room, nobody near. She could have went cross back to the middle or kicked it toward the goal, but she kicked it out of bounds, and there was nobody around her. That's a freshman error.
And now Tranter kicks the throw in out of bounds, so Kahn throws it in again, intended for Posey. And this is going to be settled down by Schultz. And she moves it upfield over to Chalinsky, intended back for Schultz, but too far, sent by the defense of Mars out to the midfield area. Luffner with it for South Park, makes a move past one player, crosses midfield, pass to Chalinsky. Chalinsky right about dead center, tries to get it to Kylie Tranter, but Johnny on the spot is the defense of Mars, and they boot it deep into South Park territory, where Evans will come up with it for the Eagles. Sends a long pass intended for Minda, too far. Nice defensive play by Mars, and they just boot it back out to midfield. Posey heads it towards the goal, and it's going to be run down by Luffner, but Posey deflects it, tries to save it before it goes out of bounds, but cannot do it. Throw in for South Park. As South Park moves across midfield, Kylie Tranter with it. Loses the ball to Kopchak, but she sends it over to where Schultz has it now for the Eagles. Long pass intended for Michaela Tranter. Judy Kahn with it now on the interception by Mars. Maggie Williams with it for a moment. She sends it forward where Clydesdale has it. Now Aaron Posey comes up with it. Off to Kahn, ahead to Allison Scaletta. Headed down the right side, goes to Dylan Wright, a little too far. Controlled by South Park. Katie Schultz with it, sends it ahead to Kylie Tranter. Kylie moving back towards the middle, ahead to Minda. Minda working 1-on-3, sends it ahead, intended for Chalinsky, too far. But it's going to be Abby Petrosky with it now, off to Schultz. Schultz with a high blooper going in. It's going to be picked out of the air by Papik.
You know, after that, you know, again, you mentioned it, 10 minutes of South Park dominance, and then Mars scored. They started dominating the second half of this. Now the last 5 or 6 minutes to end this half, South Park has really come on strong, had a couple chances. Been a very evenly played soccer game, but 1-0 Mars.
Entertaining game, too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Luffner ahead to Minda on a run, but 2 defenders led by Lissman just cut her off at the pass.
Tough to beat 1-on-3. That's very hard to get through. You can get through 1, maybe 2, but not 3.
30 seconds remaining here in the first half. Mars with the 1-0 lead. As it gets out to Posey, and Posey's just going to calmly kick it over the midfield area. Clydesdale corrals it for South Park. Did you like that? Clydesdale corrals it.
Nice.
10, 9,
If your arm was long enough, you could pat yourself on the back.
6,
Kick goes into Papik, and that will be the end of the first half of play. I've been waiting to use that one the whole.
That's good, though. I'll give you credit.
All righty. After one half of play, our score here in the girls' WPIAL Class AA Championship game is Mars 1, South Park 0. Reminds you that today's playoff match is brought to you by Progress First and Turf, and you're listening to the 2015 WPIAL Girls Soccer Playoffs, sponsored by Progress and Carlow University, only here on the MSA Sports Network.
The history books are filled with the names of great athletes and great teams from Western Pennsylvania. They share stories of great victories and stunning defeats, but they all have one thing in common. They know the championship season is the time to be first. First Commonwealth Bank, proud sponsor of the WPIAL and the best high school athletes in Western Pennsylvania. First Commonwealth, time to be first.
When looking to replace your athletic field, choose Progress First in Turf. Progress has installed over 500 fields in the U.S. Getting the best artificial turf for your field depends on both the product and the partner you choose. That's why architects, athletic directors, and players choose the Progress Performance System. Progress maintains an active presence in the synthetic turf industry as members of the Sports Turf Management Association and the American Sports Builder Association, and is proud to be recognized as the FIFA preferred manufacturer. Call Progress today, 866-270-6003, or visit them on the web at www.progressturf.com. Progress, First in Turf.
UPMC Sports Medicine is the region's largest and most experienced center dedicated to caring for athletes of all levels. And as we celebrate more than 25 years of world-class care, we're proud to offer more services, have more physicians, and treat more student athletes than any other sports medicine provider in the region. Why would you choose to go anywhere else? To learn more, call 1-855-93-SPORT or visit upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Who says you can only enjoy breakfast in the morning? And who says you can only enjoy it one type of way? At Dunkin' Donuts, breakfast is delicious any kind of way, any time of day. A breakfast craving can strike any time, whether it's morning, noon, or night. Dunkin' has the perfect combination of breakfast deliciousness to satisfy any craving. Bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel, sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant, ham, egg, and cheese on an English muffin. All your favorites anytime you want them. Stop by Dunkin' for breakfast anytime. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary.
Life is about having the confidence to know you can do anything right. I get that at Carlow.
I graduated with top awards, but beyond the classroom, Carlow helped me learn a lot about myself.
Carlow brings out the best in you.
I know I'm going to be a fantastic nurse.
I know whatever I come across, I'll be prepared.
I can't think of a better place to start the rest of my life, because at Carlow, I know I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
Enroll at Carlow University. Visit carlow.edu.
MSA Sports broadcasts are now available on both Android and iOS devices. Just navigate to the game of your choice, and on your mobile device, press the arrow or play button. It's that easy. No app needed. No matter where you are, MSA Sports content is available at your fingertips via your iPad, Android phone, iPod, and iPhone. Anytime, anywhere, always there. The MSA Sports Network.
Attention high school seniors. As one of America's top colleges, you'll want to join Grove City College for its Senior Crimson Day on Saturday, October 10th. You'll have the opportunity to explore more than 50 majors and learn more about the value of a Grove City College education. In fact, Grove City College has the lowest cost of any private four-year college in Pennsylvania. Register online today for our Saturday, October 10th, Senior Crimson Day at gcc.edu or call 724-458-2100. Grove City College, because faith and freedom matter.
The MSA Sports Network is more than just high school football this fall. Log on to MSASports.net for coverage of all other scholastic fall sports with schedules, results, and rankings of boys and girls soccer. We'll also have results and postseason coverage of girls tennis, boys and girls golf, and cross country. Plus results and rankings along with weekly matches involving the MSA Sports Hometown Girls Volleyball program. The best coverage of all WPIAL fall sports is only here on the MSA Sports Network.
And welcome back to Highmark Stadium. Championship Saturday here. Blue Root along with Mike Azadian. Our score at the half is Mars 1, South Park nothing in the girls Class AA WPIAL championship game. Only goal of the game came at the 24th minute when Tori Kopchak was able to convert on a 180-degree spin and kick in one move after a beautiful pass from Kahn to Posey to Kopchak set up the goal.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. It was that simple. The first 10 minutes dominated by South Park. They had a couple shots on goal. They had 3 corner kicks, but the defense from Mars kicked in. They wouldn't allow a shot. We saw Jordan Minder with a nice shot on goal toward the end of the first half. Better goalkeeping by the goalkeeper for Mars, Sammy Papik. And then Mars started to dominate a little bit, almost got a second chance at a goal. Couldn't get it going. 1-0 at the half. Very defensively oriented first half.
That it was. We'll see what happens here in the second half. We'll be back for the start of the second half of action here at Highmark Stadium. You're listening to the 2015 WPIAL Girls Soccer Playoffs, sponsored by Progress and Carlow University, only here on the MSA Sports Network.
MSA Sports social media pages are the best spot to find breaking news, scores, links to our articles, and more this season. Follow us on Twitter at MSA Sports and tweet us your scores from around the WPIAL. Also, like us on Facebook to join in on the conversation with over 1,000 other high school sports fans and view pictures and videos of your favorite team. And view our mobile score site at www.msasports.net/m. Whether it's Twitter, Facebook, or our websites, MSA Sports is the place to go for high school sports in Western Pennsylvania.
When looking to replace your athletic field, choose ProGrass, first in turf. ProGrass has installed over 500 fields in the U.S. Getting the best artificial turf for your field depends on both the product and the partner you choose. That's why architects, athletic directors, and players choose the ProGrass Performance System. ProGrass maintains an active presence in the synthetic turf industry as members of the Sports Turf Management Association and the American Sports Builder Association, and is proud to be recognized as the FIFA preferred manufacturer. Call ProGrass today, 866-270-6003, or visit them on the web at www.progressturf.com. ProGrass, first in turf.
When Dollar Bank was founded in 1855, it was on the idea that banking should be available to everyone. 160 years later, Dollar Bank is still helping everyday people get everything they deserve. Without shareholders, Dollar Bank is able to think differently, like new Everything Checking. You get everything you want in a checking account with no monthly service fee just by doing the things you do every day. And Everything Checking is not just available to high balance customers. Everyone can get it. Everything Checking includes interest, 55,000 free ATMs, and now everyone can celebrate Dollar Bank's 160th anniversary by earning 1.60% APY up to $20,000 all year long with Everything Savings. Are you getting everything you deserve? Ask for new Everything Checking only from Dollar Bank. Call 1-800-242-BANK, stop by, or visit dollarbank.com for details. Dollar Bank, mutually inspired. Rate and service fee waiver require. Everything Checking with 6 qualifying monthly payments. 0.25% annual percentage yield over $20,000. Subject to change without notice. Dollar Bank. Member FDIC.
MSASports.net is the place to click on every day this fall.
On Mondays, we have the latest MSA Sports Top 10 football rankings.
Tuesday is a look back at the biggest and best plays from the previous Scholastic football weekend with the plays of the week.
We go big game hunting on Wednesday with a preview of the top 4 WPIAL football contests.
I'll look into my crystal ball on Thursday with the wildly popular Chicks Picks.
Also on Thursday, we preview the college football slate in the region for the upcoming weekend, then we recap those games each and every Sunday.
A complete rundown of all the games comes your way on Friday, plus plenty of broadcasts to choose from on Friday nights.
On Saturday, we'll take a look at the top performances with Friday night highlights. Then on Sunday, a look back at the previous day's high school standouts with Saturday's Scholastic Stars.
Anytime, anywhere, always there this fall with the MSA Sports Network at MSASports.net.
And we are ready to start second half action here at Highmark Stadium. Mars Planets will get the ball first. They are leading 1-0 over the South Park Eagles here in the girls AA championship game. I'm Lou Rude. Next to me is Mike Azadian, and we are underway as the ball is kicked deep into South Park territory, where Nicole Clydesdale will boot it over the sideline, and it will be a throw-in controlled by Mars. Momentarily now Evans has it for South Park, sends it ahead, where it's going to be headed into Kopchak over to Posey. And now Katie Schultz is able to kick it back out towards midfield. But there, number 9, Annabelle Nath, is going to come up with it. Gets it over to Katie Schultz of South Park, who gets it ahead to Chalinsky. Chalinsky over intended for Petrosky. Stolen by Nath, over to Williams of Mars. Williams is going to send it towards Kopchak on a long run, but she's not going to get there in time, but deflects it, and they're going to call a handball. They said the deflection went off her hand, and she and Evans kept fighting for the ball because the referee wasn't real emphatic with his whistle. You couldn't really tell.
Well, you know, I think here, let's get into this second half. The keys, obviously, Mars, keep the pressure on, but not so much as you forget about defense. If they play strong defense, I think they win this. South Park's going to have to find a way to get more than a couple shots on goal. They're going to have to get 4 or 5 shots on goal because you're not going to score if you don't get any shots near the net, plain and simple. They've got to get that pressure and find a way to get Jordan Minda loose.
Aaron Posey tried to control the ball for Mars, could not, goes off her leg out of bounds, throw in for the Eagles. Ball is passed ahead towards Minda. Kylie Trander tries to control it. She cannot. Goes back to the defense of Mars. Sent out towards midfield. Chalinsky with the header. Kopchak with the backward kick going to Posey. Posey settles it down, makes a nice move. Sends it ahead for Dylan Wright. And Dylan Wright is tripped and goes down hard. And we are going to have a free kick in the box.
Interesting. This could be extremely.
Is this a penalty kick or a free kick? See where they place the ball. They're placing it at the penalty kick marker. So it will be a penalty kick here. And taking it will be Shannon Doyle. I believe that's number 24. That is Shannon Doyle to take the penalty kick.
This is big.
Going against Molly Saylor. And she buries it in the left of the net. So 2 minutes into the second half. Shannon Doyle on a PK.
That is a killer. That is a killer.
Makes it 2-0 Mars.
You're talking about a team that has not given up a goal in the 2 postseason games, outscoring their opponent 6-0. Only 5 shots on goal. I'm sorry. 5 shots on goal. They haven't given up a ton of shots on goal, and here they are now. Have only given up a couple shots on goal and have limited South Park severely, and now they are up 2-0 and 37 minutes away from a championship.
Ball is booted off a South Park player over the sideline. It'll be a throw-in for Mars on the far side of the field over near the scoreboard. And Kopchak goes down hard as Chelinsky collides with her. Mars going from right to left on your computer screen. The Planets dressed in all white. South Park from left to right dressed in all blue. And it will be a direct kick for the Planets. And sent down into South Park territory, but Chelinsky boots it out towards midfield where Minda heads it back to Chelinsky. Chelinsky works against Nath, gets it ahead to Tranter. Now Minda with it, tries to make a move down the left side, sends it ahead to Kylie Tranter. Now Minda gets it, cross, and a shot and goal! Abby Petrosky got the cross from Minda, and just like that, South Park is on the board.
Interesting. We're just to the point of saying that was a killer goal, and they come right back and score. Boy, Petrosky, so strong in every game. Maybe doesn't get the publicity that you see from Minda, Chelinsky, and Tranter, but she is right there. Petrosky, this sophomore, up-and-coming star.
So it is 2-1 now. And that penalty kick looms even larger. But Minda with a beautiful cross. Petrosky right on the spot and just deflected it into the corner of the net. And now Minda goes down, and it'll be a direct kick for South Park. And
kick for the Eagles.
We've got ourselves a game here, Mike.
Yeah, you know, I thought that penalty kick would just be and South Park would maybe wilt a little bit, but they came right back, and I mean immediately within a minute and 4 seconds, less than 2 minutes, and scored on a nice play, and you got to give them credit. They weren't getting a lot of shots. They weren't getting a lot of opportunities, and they took advantage of the next opportunity, and that is huge for them to get right back in this game, because if you go much more, 10, 15 minutes, and now you're at the 20-minute mark down 2-0, Lou, then you start putting on the pressure and making mistakes, but they're right back in this game, and 2 different players just hit the ground. From Mars, getting up slowly, that's Erin Posey, but she seems to be okay, and I think that was Kylie Tranter that went down for South Park, but everybody's up. Everybody's all right.
Minda with it over to Michaela Tranter, going down the left side, looking for a pass into the box for sister Kylie, but it's going to be booted out of play. Onto the railroad tracks here at Highmark Stadium, as that was Emily Scaletta fired that thing out of play quickly for Mars. Throw in for South Park. Tried to get it to Schultz, booted back out of play by Scaletta, and so it'll be another throw in. This time stolen momentarily, and then a deep cross, but unfortunately the cross was behind the net, not in front of it, so it will be a goal kick for Mars.
Well, I think South Park's done the right thing. They've kept pressure on. They've challenged every 50-50 ball. They've won a lot of 50-50 balls here. And it doesn't seem, you didn't see them sulking. You didn't see the shoulders and the heads down. They just kept playing hard.
Eagles with the ball now. Minda on the left side tries to get it ahead to Kylie Tranter in the box, but it's going to be booted out of play. Throw in for the Eagles on the far side. And Michaela Tranter will throw it in to Minda. Minda tries to send it on a cross. Controlled by Schultz for the moment, and the ball is kicked off of her face towards the middle, where Kylie Tranter tried to head the ball into the net, but went wide to the left. So another goal kick for Mars, and as you said, Mars was controlling play, but now South Park is right back in it and putting the pressure on.
And Mars hasn't had a goal scored on them in, a couple of weeks. So all of a sudden, South Park, a very good offensive team that didn't do much offensively, now starting to control things and putting the pressure on. And now Mars' defense has to be up to the test. We talked about them. Doyle, Lisman, Kahn back there have to do a good job.
Kopchak with it ahead to Posey now for Mars. Posey going 1-on-3, looking for some help. Makes a move past Clydesdale. Still with it going down the right side. Sends a cross. And Molly Saylor there as no one was home in the box area for Mars. Quick throw out to Petrosky, the goal scorer for South Park. Sends it over to Schultz in the middle. Schultz over to Michaela Tranter on the left side. Tries to make a move but loses it to the defense of Mars.
Molly Saylor did a good job. Good timing. Came right out and didn't take a chance. Even though there was nobody there, yeah, you do get the ball before there's a possible shot on goal.
Kopchak moving in on net and deflects the ball off of Evans. It will be a corner kick for Mars, and I believe this is the first corner kick for Mars in the game.
First corner kick of the game. You're all right. And it is 3 corner kicks to 1 right now. Shots, unless I'm wrong, it's 3-2.
In favor of
South Park. Unless, do you count the corner kick do you count the penalty kick as a shot on goal?
I believe you have to.
Okay, then it's 3-3.
3-3. That ball headed out of play by South Park, and then the ball was sent in by Emily Scaletta, but it is caught by Saylor, and she will punt it away.
Good goalkeeper, Saylor, which she did on that 30 yards out. Just hold on to the ball. If you bobble the ball, then a forward could come right in, and that's the key for a good goalkeeper. Excuse me, good timing and control the ball.
Chalinsky had it, deflected it off of Kahn out of play. Throw in South Park. Clydesdale to throw it in from the far side. Gets it to Minda. Back to Clydesdale. Clydesdale sends it over, intended for Schultz. Deflected away by Mars, but Schultz settles it down, gets it over to Luffner. Luffner looking to send it in towards the goal box area, but nobody there but Mars defenders. Out to Dylan Wright. Now ahead to Posey. Going 2-on-3. Posey makes a move down the left side. Luffner coming hard to try and catch up with her. And Luffner's going to run her off the ball on a nice defensive play. Scaletta with it now. Tried to get it ahead to Kylie Tranter, but it was knocked away by Dylan Wright. Throw in by Luffner over to Kylie Tranter. LaRocca with it momentarily, but she sends it over to Schultz of South Park, who now sends it crossfield to Michaela Tranter, who loses it to Isabel Robleski. Robleski over to Kopchak, ahead for Posey, and it's going to go too far and get knocked over the end line by Posey, and that will be a goal kick, and there we have our first train of the game.
Some coal, some supplies headed, I would think, south.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Yeah, that's south.
That is south, yes.
Down the Three Rivers, down towards Beaver County, and through Ohio.
That would be north, going to Beaver County. Ball off the.
Well, it is going north then. Well,
whatever.
So, northwest.
As the ball is thrown in by Luffner, Minda will head it forward where it's taken by Annabelle Nath. She sends it up to Posey. Posey across midfield going 1-on-2. Schultz takes it away. Kylie Tranter tries to get it to her sister Michaela, but it's going to be taken away by Kahn on a good defensive play. Now sent forward to Posey of Mars, but she sends it right over to Evans of South Park, who boots it right back to midfield. Finally, it's going to get settled down near the midfield area by Abby Petrosky. Goes back to Luffner on defense. Forward for Kylie Tranter. Kylie makes a move and tries to get it across to Chalinsky, but stolen on a nice defensive play by Lisman. Now sent ahead, and Luffner has it. LaRocca is able to steal it, though, for Mars. LaRocca tries to get it ahead to Kopchak. She's able to, but Luffner cuts her off. Now Kopchak runs Luffner over, and that will be a foul.
You know, Kopchak is so quick from standing to moving. She's got that cat-like quickness, is able to get between defenders and get to a loose ball and use her body to fend off a defender and keep her legs moving and get shots. And that's all she needs sometimes. And that quickness enabled her to get that first goal and to be the leading scorer on this team. She's just a tremendous young player. When she's near the ball, you can have 3 or 4 defenders back there, but you better look out if you give her any room.
Yeah, 34 goals on the season for Kopchak. Aaron Posey was next for Mars with 15. Minda with 27 for South Park, and Kylie Tranter was next with 18.
We haven't heard much from Tranter today. She's been bottled up pretty good.
LaRocca with it just outside the box area, sent back to the defense where it's kicked in by Scaletta. Rather midfield where Scaletta kicks it in, but it goes too far to be a goal kick. As Allison Scaletta comes in, and Aaron Posey will get a little bit of a break.
Yeah, 10 minutes into the second half, and it's been what we expected. A lot of defense, but 2 goals to open up this first half, one by each team, and then since then things have really bottled up. And I would not be surprised if either team only gets maybe 1, maybe 2 more opportunities each. And South Park has to take advantage of their opportunities if they want to win this game.
Chalinsky on a run past midfield, has the ball deflected, but Schultz comes up with it for South Park. Kylie Tranter then loses it, and it is Dylan Wright coming ahead. She's got a pair of helpers with her, but sends it too long, intended for Kopchak. Evans able to get it and send it ahead. And there, Avery Miklos has it now for South Park. Over to Kylie Tranter, back to Luffner on defense as the Eagles will try and set it up. Over to Abby Petrosky on the right to Miklos. Miklos makes one move, but then loses the ball, and it's kicked up into the stands by Nath. And that's where they find out you don't get to keep him in the WPIAL.
Exactly.
You got to throw him back in.
If you're Mars, you get 1 more goal. I'm not saying it's for sure, but you get 1 more goal here, and I think it's going to be really, really tough for South Park. But South Park, all they need is that 1. Tie it up, go to OT, go to kicks, whatever you got to do, but they need 1 goal to get this game going, and you can't let the clock be against you. Keep the pressure on now for as long as you can.
Miklos battling the Rocca. Now Allison Scaletta comes over. Dylan Wright with it. Controls for Mars. Gets past Chalinsky, sends it ahead to Kopchak. Kopchak with help. Moves to her left. Around 1 defender. Gets the shot on net. Oh, what a save. Molly Saylor laid out and dove to her left.
What did I just get done saying? She gets between people and look out. She dribbles, controls the ball, and just like that, defenders are frozen, and she comes through 2 defenders and makes a kick. Didn't get it hard enough, and a great save by South Park's Molly Saylor.
Minda with a cross, sending it over, but Schultz can't get there at time. Now Petrosky has it. Over on a high shot, and it's going to be a little bit too high and out of play.
For the Fighting Planets.
And that was Chalinsky, got it a little bit high.
Yeah, she couldn't control the ball. Boy, if she controls the ball and puts it on net, you got a shot. But just, from there, you got to get it on the net. She tried to get it up over the defenders, but too high. Go back to that play by Kopchak. Man, I'll tell you what. The way she dribbled, the way she used her feet, and just a great save by Saylor, who anticipated where the ball was going, or it's 3-1.
Now LaRocca with it in midfield, loses it to Chalinsky. Chalinsky makes a move again around LaRocca. Looks for the pass off to Kylie Tranter. Kylie loses it, but gets it back to Chalinsky. Chalinsky with it, sends it into Petrosky just outside the box area. Over to Minda now to Miklos. Miklos moving down the right side. She's got room, sends it cross. Over to Petrosky, into Kylie Tranter in the box area. Deflected on the shot. Now a second shot just goes wide by Michaela Tranter. And another chance for South Park.
Michaela Tranter and Michaela Tranter just didn't put it on goal. She puts it on goal. She probably has a goal there on the left side. Oh, my goodness. She had all day long. She just missed. But how about Avery Miklos, the freshman in there, making a good move. Another bright up-and-coming star. Made a good move to get across to the middle. South Park with another opportunity gone by.
Ball is kicked out of play. It'll be a throw-in for Mars on the far side as Maggie Williams comes into the game. 13, again, replacing Allison Scaletta. Good minutes out of Scaletta today. As that ball was sent in towards the middle where Dylan Wright has it momentarily. Nice sliding tackle, keeps a hold of it. Maggie Williams off to LaRocca, but she can't control it. And it's sent back by South Park ahead to Chalinsky. Chalinsky tries to get it on a long run down the left side for Minda, but blocked. And now coming up is Chalinsky trying to keep it. Dylan Wright with it, now sends it down the left side, but going back is Luffner. She will control it. Goes past Williams, but LaRocca makes a nice deflection, but Miklas comes up with it back to Luffner. Luffner's going to send it ahead for Petrosky. Can't head the ball. It's going to be controlled momentarily by Mars. Now it's Katie Schultz with it, but she has it go off of her leg out of bounds and a throw in for the Planets.
One of those bad bounces right there. Boy, Schultz is so effective at midfield, man. She just moves the ball, the senior, one of the leaders, and she moves through midfield pretty quick, but got to get the ball up to Minda. Got to find her and Petrosky, and to try to get some shots on goal.
Robleski ahead to Dylan Wright. Wright looking to pass it in for Kopchak. It's going to be taken by Katie Schultz, sends it ahead to Chalinsky. Chalinsky looking to pass it to Petrosky, deflected at the defense. Nice play by Emily Scaletta. But we have a foul called, and it will be a free kick for South Park. 22-29 remaining here in the second half. It is Mars 2, South Park 1. Kopchak and Doyle, the goal scorers for Mars, and Abby Petrosky for the South Park Eagles.
And one of the better players for Mars on the sidelines, Erin Posey, and I saw her flexing her leg, and a trainer there looking at it. She's now standing, possibly waiting to go back in, still doing some leg kicks, but that's one of your better forwards, and she's on the sidelines right now.
And we have a penalty called on South Park. It will be Mars ball. Looks like they wrapped her knee a little bit there.
Yeah,
back of her knee and calf.
That's that tape that they use. If you look closely, Minda has that as well on the back of the knee.
Yep.
You know, knees, ankles, legs. You're going to get a lot of injuries in soccer with all the running and stopping and starting they do here.
Long pass ahead by Mars. Kopchak tries to break it up. Evans is able to get it, but she sends it right to Maggie Williams. Williams over to LaRocca. LaRocca back to Dylan Wright. And Chalinsky kicks it away from Wright over the sideline. It'll be a throw-in for, well, they're going to call the throw-in for South Park, saying it was Wright that kicked it.
You know, I'm watching Kopchak, and I got to tell you, when there's three defenders standing, she's in constant movement. She seems to know where the ball is going to go. And while they're caught flat-footed, she's moving, and that's all it takes is that split second for her to get a burst and look out.
Schultz with it now, crosses midfield over to Chalinsky, sends it ahead to Minda, trying to make a run down the left side. Minda one-on-one with Listman, and Listman makes a nice defensive play.
Yep, good defense by Mars, just limiting the opportunities for South Park, and that's been the story of this game. South Park has had 3 shots on goal, only one goal.
All right, Eagles control now. Luffner with it from about 40 yards out. Sends it in towards net, and a diving punch by Papik, and there's a collision with a South Park player, and both players are down.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you one thing. I don't know if that ball would have been on goal or not. We're going to count it as a shot on goal. It might have hit the post, but if Papik doesn't dive, it's going to at least hit the post or come close. That looks to me to be Clydesdale, but I could be wrong, and she's down. They collided shoulder to shoulder. Boy, hopefully nobody got a concussion or hit head-to-head.
I want to say I think that's Minda, because I do not see
right.
number 12 out. That is Minda. Minda is down. Minda was diving to try and get a header on the ball. Let's take a break now. You're listening to the 2015 WPIAL Girls Soccer Playoffs, sponsored by Progress and Carlow University here on the MSA Sports Network.
Life is about having the confidence to know you can do anything right. I get that at Carlow.
I graduated with top awards, but beyond the classroom, Carlo helped me learn a lot about myself.
Carlo brings out the best in you.
I know I'm going to be a fantastic nurse.
I know whatever I come across, I'll be prepared.
I can't think of a better place to start the rest of my life, because at Carlo, I know I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
Enroll at Carlow University. Visit carlow.edu.
And good news, Minda is up and being helped off the field, but she at least is up and walking. And Sammy Papik went to punch that ball away. Minda was trying to get a header on it, and Papik got to the ball first, was able to punch it out, and then she and Minda collided. And fortunate no one was seriously hurt there, as this will be a goal kick now for Mars. We are just about at the halfway point of this second half.
Well, that really changes things. Now Petrosky is the lead at forward with Trantor and her sister, Michaela Trantor, Kylie and Michaela. So they're going to have to depend on those three, Petrosky and the Trantor sisters. And with Minda out of the game, look out. If she can't come back in, that really, really hurts their offense.
And Miklas will stay in as this time the ball is fought for and is going to go off of South Park, throw in for Mars. And we are under 20 minutes to play here in the game, 2-1. The Mars Planets leading the South Park Eagles. Of course, Mars was the runner-up last year, lost to Montour, the 2014 champions. And the ball is now in the box. Kopchak fighting for it. Unable to control, ball headed in towards the net where Molly Saylor just picks it up easily, and she will punt it away for the Eagles.
I see 6 Mars defenders back right now. That doesn't bode well for South Park.
And the ball is going to be a throw-in for the Eagles after it's knocked out of bounds. And quickly kicked away by Mars. Posey controls it out near midfield. She sends it ahead for Kopchak, but it's not going to get there, as it will be Luffner with it, going cross field for Chalinsky. Chalinsky tried to get it to Kylie Trantor. Now she has it. Sends it over to Katie Schultz. Schultz on the right wing over to Miklas. Miklas looking to make a move. Makes one move past Williams. Tries to get it ahead for Kylie Trantor. Has it blocked. Sent out towards Posey at midfield. She can't control. It's going to be controlled by Zandier. Off to Katie Schultz. Schultz tries to send it over to Petrosky. Has it down the right side. Makes a move. Breaks towards the box area. Now sends it back to Luffner on defense. Nice high cross sent in there right to Papik. And she does a nice job of just coming up and making the play. Now punts it away out for Kopchak near midfield. Kopchak settles it down, then boots it off of a South Park player, Chalinsky, who corrals the ball. And it's sent in where it's deflected off of another South Park player. It's going to go over the end line. And that was Chalinsky again who had it go off of her. And it will be a goal kick for Mars. 17:42 to go in the game. 2-1. Mars leading South Park. Rachel Urquhart now in the game. And she is going to give Nikki McNally a break as the ball was in play. And it's finally going to be settled down by Maggie Williams. Gets it over to one of her defenders. And that is Nath sending ahead to Aaron Posey. Posey off to Kopchak, off of Evans. Now Kopchak with it again, but Evans was able to block her shot over to Schultz.
Just good position by Evans, because that's all it took is Kopchak, just a little opening, and she pounded it. Boy, Evans' legs got to be sore there.
Chalinsky over to Michaela Trantor. Now ahead for Kylie Trantor, but kicked out of play on a good defensive effort by Shannon Doyle.
Also Chalinsky up there, too. We've got Chalinsky, the Trantor sisters, and I think Rachel Urquhart a freshman, is out there too as a forward, because they're going to have to make up for Minda. The way Minda walked off, I don't know if we're going to see her come back here or not.
No, she's sitting on the sideline. The trainer's sitting next to her. They're asking questions of her, but you know, if they suspect a possible
they got
head injury, they'll take every
Go
precaution.
nowadays. You know as well as I do, you've coached a lot of years. Nowadays, they don't fool around. Any suspected head injury, you're not coming back in. I've seen it in playoff games so far a couple of times this year where a goalkeeper didn't come back in. She kind of was begging him to come back in. And no trainer's going to let a kid back in nowadays. It's just not going to happen. It's not worth it.
Now Posey with it over to Kopchak, but it's taken away by South Park, but sent back into the Eagles zone by the defensive Mars. Now Schultz going forward at midfield. Can't control it. And it's going to be Dylan Wright with it, sending it ahead to Posey. She's making a run on the right side. And the ball is kicked out over the end line by Evans. It'll be a corner kick for Mars. So Dylan Wright will move to do the corner kick from the far right corner, what would be in the upper right-hand corner of your computer screen. 15-19 to go here in the second half of play. And right now with the corner kick, sends it in towards the box, and it misses everybody. And we've got a call by the official down on the field, and a push is called. So it'll be a direct kick for South Park.
Another corner kick, their second of the half, and I believe that was Brad Stokes. From here, it's hard to tell who's who. I know the trailing official was Paul Vidic. Yeah, that's Paul Stokes made that call.
And so it's kicked away by Luffner out towards midfield. Katie Schultz with it. Sends it on the side to the right to Miklos. Miklos working with it. Gets it ahead to Kylie Tranter. Kylie loses it, but Petrosky picks it up, heads it ahead to Tranter, but it's kicked out of play by the defense of Mars. Now Katie Schultz sends it back in towards the box where it's headed back out again. And a nice play by Robleski gets it out towards Kopchak. Now a long run for Posey. Posey breaking in on net, and it's going to be kicked over the end line on a good defensive play by Cassidy Zandier. Another corner kick for Mars.
And, you know, I think South Park's starting to take some chances. The midfielders are playing way up. They're trying to put some pressure on to get some chances. They realize with 13 minutes left, they can't wait to go up on offense down 2-1. You wait till the last 5 minutes, it's not going to happen. They need chances now. But, unfortunately, this is what happens at times where you're going to give up a corner kick as you kick a ball out of over the end line.
Dylan Wright from the far right-hand corner sends it in towards the box. And a great leaping grab by the goalie from South Park, Molly Saylor, went up and took it at its highest point. Quickly sends it out. Chalinsky on the run for South Park, but she loses control of the ball, and it will be sent back upfield by Amber Listman. Eventually goes out of play, throw in Eagles.
Yeah, 3 corner kicks to none in this half. And the first half was the opposite way, where South Park had their corner kicks, and nothing has been scored off a corner so far today.
Ball deep into Mars territory. Nath kicks it out. Now Maggie Williams with it. Sends it over to Posey in the middle. Williams goes down hard. No call. Posey still with it. Posey makes a move around Listman, but coming over to kick the ball downfield to Zandier, where Petrosky's battling Nath with it. And eventually it's going to go out of play, throw in for Mars. The Planets waste no time. Long throw in for Posey down the left wing. Posey going against Zandier one-on-one. Now she kicks it a little too far as Luffner comes over, steals it, gets it to Zandier, ahead to Katie Schultz for the Eagles. Kylie Trantner tried to get it back to her. It's deflected by the defense of Mars and sent back in. Isabel Robleski calmly sends it back into South Park territory. Luffner with it over to Evans. Defense pass. Evans now sends it up, and Tranter wasn't looking. Kopchak with it now. Tries to get it ahead to Posey, but kicked out of play by Zandier. Williams with it now for Mars. Over towards Kopchak, but Evans had it momentarily. She goes down. Kopchak one-on-one with Zandier. Makes a move in on net, and the kick is going to go over the end line. Deflected off of who? They're going to say it was off. They're going to say it was a goal kick.
Interesting.
No, now they're going to call it a corner. I thought it deflected off of a South Park player. They are going to call it a corner kick. So 4th corner kick of the game for Mars. And again,
all in this half.
Yep, Dylan Wright will do the honors.
A goal here would be disastrous for South Park.
High kick into the box, but it's off the net on the side.
Yeah, interesting, off the right side of her foot. Let's get nitty-gritty time, Lou. 11 minutes to go, and the defense from Mars has done the job. Only that one goal early in the second half. They have given up only 4 shots on goal, and really only the one good one. A couple of good. What's wrong?
I was going to say McNally is back in on defense, and Evans has moved up to the attacking spot.
Interesting. They're making some changes.
They are. Evans moves up to a forward position as Chelinski moves in on net. Chelinski with a long shot blocked at the defense, and that was Shannon Doyle that made a nice stop. Now, go ahead.
And you see what South Park is doing. They've got everybody up except a couple of people, but look out.
Here comes Kopchak going one-on-one with Zandier. Makes a move. Zandier gets help from Luffner. Now shot on net, but Saylor is right there.
Boy, she can get her shot off, can't she?
She does.
But you see, they're keeping 3 on defense, but all the midfield is up now. They realize to get chances, they're going to have to put the pressure on. But what's going to happen is Mars, you get up to Kopchak, you get it up to one of their offensive players like one of their good offensive players like Maggie Williams. Look out. You get Kopchak free, there could be problems.
Luffner with a long kick into the goal box area off the direct kick. Evans controls it over to Michaela Tranter, sends it back towards Evan, but she wasn't looking, and Sammy Papik, the goaltender from Mars, comes up, calmly scoops it up, and she will punt the ball out towards midfield.
And you see what Mars is doing. Everybody back from Mars. Everybody but one. Even their last 2 forwards are in midfield positions now, so they're going to do everything they can to stop South Park here.
And here comes Posey with it. 1 on about 4, and she's going to get knocked down hard by Chelinski, and it's going to be a foul on Chelinski.
Yeah, it's foul on Chelinski, but, that's one of those things. You're both going for the ball. They fall. It's nothing that deserves a yellow or red card. It's just incidental.
They didn't give one, so it's going to be a direct kick.
Exactly. Good
call. Part of it is Posey's a good-sized young lady, and Chelinski's smaller, and I think, she really didn't do anything. She just got knocked
Exactly.
flying.
Went for the ball, and that's it.
And by that, I mean that she's tall. She's probably a good
athletic.
3-4.
Very athletic. I mean,
she's at least a good 3 or 4 inches taller
exactly.
than.
And she's got a good, her legs are strong, and when you're athletic like that, you're tough to take down. And when someone tries a slide tackle or tries to kick the ball away from you, unfortunately, your legs are going to tangle and you're going to fall.
Dylan Wright with it now, tries to get it over to Posey, but has it taken away by Miklas. Off to Chelinski, who goes to the left to Michaela Tranter, back to Chelinski. Working the left side, tries to get it ahead to Kylie Tranter. She does. Kick back out by the defense of Mars, but back to Michaela Tranter. She sends it to Evans in the box. Evans controls, makes one move, and has the ball taken away. A good defensive play by Mars, as that was Emily Scaletta on the play. Scaletta battling with Schultz now. Miklas can't control. Maggie Williams with it. Maggie Williams battling Luffner. Luffner will control for the Eagles. And now Williams and Luffner still battling, and the ball will go out of play off of Luffner. Throw in for Mars. 7 minutes, 34 seconds remaining in the second half. And a blatant push by Luffner. No call made, as the ball goes over on the right, and it's going to be Miklas not able to get to it in time. It will be a throw-in for Mars. And the ball goes down towards the end, and Mars doesn't mind. They'll wait and go down there and get it before they throw it in.
Oh, yeah, you're going to start seeing this stall. You're going to start seeing a couple players come in, and 10 seconds here, 13 seconds there, 15 seconds here, and just kill the clock.
Ball kicked into the box area, headed out of danger momentarily, and now a Mars player knocked flying by Michaela Tranter, and it will be a free kick.
Time starting to run out on South Park.
6 minutes, 40 seconds remaining, 2-1, Mars in the lead. Kopchak and Doyle, goal scorers for Mars. Abby Petrosky for South Park. Michaela Tranter with it. Over to Chelinski, loses it to Kopchak, who just sends it back towards midfield. Now Kopchak with the steal over to Posey. Tried to get it back to Kopchak, did Posey, but it went too far. Now a nice steal by Mars, and Posey with it. Works her way past Chelinski, but Luffner's going to take it, and then it bounces off of Posey as Luffner tried to kick it out, but it went right to the goal. Saylor had to make the save.
Yeah, good punt by Saylor to get it down there. And now just a little bit. She outkicked her forwards.
South Park will settle it down. Michaela Tranter over to Kylie Tranter, making a move on the left side. She's got room to run. Tries to send across. Good deflection by the defense of Mars. Michaela Tranter goes down, and she is hurt.
She got kicked on that one ball, but she's okay. Fighting another South Park player goes down. Two go down.
They got two South Park players down, and
Tranter
the officials are going to call timeout.
Yeah, the Tranter sisters.
And they're both limping off here.
Yeah, Michaela went to try to get a 50-50 ball, and the ball went past her, but she got kicked by the defender. Incidental. She's limping off. Her sister looks like Kylie's going to stay on, but it's to the point now where who's coming on? That's going to be a freshman. Rachel Urquhart is coming on, and that's tough to get a freshman in there, but maybe a younger player's got a little energy, and that's all it takes is an extra step. They need a shot on goal, Lou. They've only got 2 in this half. They've only scored the 1 goal, and right now it's just not enough.
And the clock is ticking. 5:21 to go in the game. As it is Kylie Tranter with it over to Chalinsky. Has her shot deflected by Lissman. Back out towards midfield. Luffner with it. Sends it back into the goal box where Petrosky cannot control it. Now Zandier with it. South Park defense is all on the Mars side of the field. Kick back out to the center. Zandier has it, sends it in. Posey deflects it once. And now we've got a handball called. And it'll be Luffner with the kick. 4:44 to go. Sends it into the box. And it's going to be kicked back out of play.
Worst thing Mars could have done there was stop it with their legs. The ball moves around. You let their goalie get it, but they kicked it with their legs and let that ball bounce around. You can't do that. South Park gets a loose ball. They score. That's what they're looking for.
As Schultz sends it over to Chalinsky. Chalinsky working against a couple of defenders. Sends it ahead, intended for Petrosky. Zandier stops it at midfield. Over to Luffner. Luffner sends it back in towards the net. Headed in, intended for Petrosky, but Papik comes out of her net and gets it. 4 minutes remaining in the game. Papik will punt it away over the midfield area. Kopchak will have it. Keeps it in play, controls the ball, just kicks it towards the middle, kicks it again over to Posey. Posey controls. Over to Kopchak, but too far. Pass taken by South Park, but they send it back to Mars. Mars then turns around and kicks it back down into South Park territory where Zandier has it. Maggie Williams tried to get it, couldn't. Now Schultz with it for South Park briefly. Gets it over to Nath of Mars. Now Posey and Williams moving in with Kopchak. Long run tried for Williams, but it's going to be Molly Saylor coming up to make the save.
Not much time to go. 3:13. It doesn't look good for South Park, but they keep pressing. They need to get something in on goal. They need a bounce. They need a corner kick. They need to take advantage of a mistake, but Mars is not making any mistakes.
And we've got Tori Kopchak battling there with Nikki McNally. They're going to call Kopchak for the foul. McNally quickly sends it ahead on a direct kick. They're going to make her kick it again, and the clock will continue to run.
All the offense is going to be up. Everybody from Mars back. And the 11-on-11 is going to take place in the Mars defensive half. South Park's got to find a way to take advantage, but they can't. They can't even get it across midfield right now.
Maggie Williams with a nice play there.
It's so hard to come from behind in soccer.
It is. Miklas battling with Posey and Williams. Now Schultz comes over. Finally, Zandier will control it. Gets it over to Chalinsky for South Park, and she loses it to Kopchak. Over to Posey, who then has it taken away by Chalinsky. Over to Zandier. 2 minutes to go in the game. South Park has to hurry, but they can't get the ball.
They can't get it across midfield because Mars just keeps coming up and pushing it right back in to the South Park defensive zone. And South Park's hesitating. They need to blast the ball up there and run for it. Every second counts right now. And now Mars is going to play the substitution game where they kill a few seconds.
Posey comes out, and in is Katrina Johnson. Actually, that's Katrina Johansson. And Johansson had the ball momentarily. still battling Luffner for it. Now we've got a foul called on Johansson. Luffner to kick. 1:23 to go. Mars on top, 2-1. As they continue to head the ball out of bounds here. Throw in for Miklos of South Park. Gets it ahead for Schultz. Schultz over to Chalinsky. Marked by Kopchak, and Kopchak's able to kick it out of play.
Kopchak is so strong. She uses her body, gets you away from her, and gets it out of bounds.
1 minute away from a championship for Mars, as South Park will be throwing the ball in. And we've got a South Park player dragged down, no call made. Ball goes out towards midfield, 43 seconds to go in the game. And it's going to be stolen by Mars as they are blocking the ball at midfield, and that time she blocked it with her face, but the ball is kicked by Emily Scaletta all the way back to the goalie. 20 seconds to go, and this ball is headed up towards Mars area. Evans with it, can't control. Scaletta gets it, sends it out towards midfield, and now it's going to be totally controlled by Mars. We have 8 seconds to go, and the Mars fans are on their feet as South Park will have a throw-in, and they're just going to leave the ball go. And there you have it. The 2015 WPIAL Girls Class AA Soccer Champions are the Mars Planets. We'll be back with the wrap-up right after this. Tonight's playoff match was brought to you by Progress, First and Turf, and you are listening to the 2015 WPIAL Girls Soccer Playoffs, sponsored by Progress and Carlow University, only here on the MSA Sports Network.
Attention business owners and marketing managers. MSA Sports Network offers a cost-effective way to expand your advertising efforts, increase your bottom line, and promote your brand and services in the communities you serve. Offering you flexible marketing plans with numerous multimedia combinations, the ability to target your local customers within a 5 to 10 mile radius of your business, industry exclusivity, available via sport, season, community, or region, and outstanding return on investment with all MSA Sports sponsorship opportunities. MSA Sports Network represents the most efficient and effective ad placement in the broadcast industry. To learn more about advertising opportunities on the MSA Sports Network, contact Glenn Anderson at 412-362-2000, extension 2225, or ganderson@msa.com.
No regrets.
You may have some regrets in life, but not with Erie Insurance. We'll treat you fairly and won't penalize you for a mishap. And we have great rates. So instead of regrets, get to know Erie. See for yourself why more than 90% of Erie customers stay with us year after year. Get a quote today.
Call the Mills Agency, servicing Greensburg, Ligonier, and Jeanette. 724-834-3015.
Erie Insurance.
For the most complete recap of Friday night's WPIAL football action, tune in on your way home from the game to the MSA Sports Scoreboard Show here on the MSA Sports Network. Hi, I'm Don Rebel. Join me in the MSA Sports Gang for all the scores and recaps from the top games, plus the MSA Sports Roundtable. That's the MSA Sports Scoreboard Show after the game on Friday nights on the MSA Sports Network and at msasports.net. Hi, this is Don Rebel, inviting you to log on each Wednesday night at 7 o'clock for This Week in the WPIAL, only here on the MSA Sports Network. Join me along with other MSA Sports members each week as we talk to head coaches around District 7, plus run down all the high school football action and preview the top games for the upcoming weekend. That's This Week in the WPIAL, Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock, only here on the MSA Sports Network.
The history books are filled with the names of great athletes and great teams from Western Pennsylvania. They share stories of great victories and stunning defeats, but they all have one thing in common. They know the championship season is the time to be first. First Commonwealth Bank, proud sponsor of the WPIAL and the best high school athletes in Western Pennsylvania. First Commonwealth, time to be first.
When looking to replace your athletic field, choose ProGrass, First in Turf. ProGrass has installed over 500 fields in the U.S. Getting the best artificial turf for your field depends on both the product and the partner you choose. That's why architects, athletic directors, and players choose the ProGrass Performance System. ProGrass maintains an active presence in the synthetic turf industry as members of the Sports Turf Management Association and the American Sports Builder Association, and is proud to be recognized as the FIFA preferred manufacturer. Call ProGrass today, 866-270-6003, or visit them on the web at www.progressturf.com. ProGrass, First in Turf.
Who says you can only enjoy breakfast in the morning? And who says you can only enjoy it one type of way? At Dunkin' Donuts, breakfast is delicious any kind of way, any time of day. A breakfast craving can strike any time, whether it's morning, noon, or night. Dunkin' has the perfect combination of breakfast deliciousness to satisfy any craving. Bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel, sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant, ham, egg, and cheese on an English muffin. All your favorites anytime you want them. Stop by Dunkin' for breakfast anytime. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary.
Life is about having the confidence to know you can do anything right. I get that at Carlo.
I graduated with top awards, but beyond the classroom, Carlo helped me learn a lot about myself.
Carlo brings out the best in you.
I know I'm going to be a fantastic nurse.
I know whatever I come across, I'll be prepared.
I can't think of a better place to start the rest of my life, because at Carlo, I know I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
Enroll at Carlo University. Visit carlo.edu.
And we welcome you back to Highmark Stadium as Championship Saturday continues here on the MSA Sports Network. We just concluded the girls' Class AA WPIAL championship game with the Mars Planets winning the championship this year by a score of 2-1 over the South Park Eagles. Scoring started off in the 24th minute of the first half. Tori Kopchak of Mars with the goal made it 1-0 for the Planets. And then with 2 minutes remaining, or actually at the 2-minute mark of the first half, Shannon Doyle on a penalty kick is able to put it in. That was 2 minutes in the second half.
Yes.
Shannon Doyle with the penalty.
42nd minute, yep.
Yeah, Shannon Doyle put the penalty kick in. But then not too much longer, at the 4-minute mark, Abby Petrosky scored for South Park, but that was it for the scoring. Other than that, it was a defensive struggle the rest of the game. Sammy Papik had a couple of great saves.
That's a big difference
for the Mars Planets. And, Molly Saylor didn't have some bad saves herself.
She made a couple of big saves. Papik made a couple of big saves. A defensive game. Mars took advantage of their big opportunities. They didn't have many, but they took advantage of theirs. South Park had 3 or 4 big opportunities. They did not take advantage of theirs. They put the press on toward the end, and they couldn't get it past. The Mars defense was stellar all game long.
So the final, once again, Mars winning 2-1. Mars, the runners-up last year, able to come in and taste victory this year. For Mike Azadian, I'm Lou Rude. Matt Vandriak's coming in next. It'll be the boys' AA championship game. It'll be the Mars Planets and the South Fayette Lions going. And be sure to join Matt for all the action on that. Remind you, you've been listening to the 2015 WPIAL Soccer Playoffs, brought to you by ProGrass here on the MSA Sports Network.
You have been listening to exclusive coverage of the 2015 WPIAL Soccer Playoffs at MSASports.net, sponsored in part by ProGrass, by Carlo University, by First Commonwealth Bank, by UPMC Sports Medicine, by Dunkin' Donuts, by Grove City College, by Dollar Bank, by Erie Insurance and the Charles M. Mills Insurance Agency, and by Management Science Associates. You can follow the WPIAL Soccer Playoffs by logging on every day to www.msasports.net. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of the Management Science Associates Sports Network.